Came up south for the river. Cold gyms, cracked mirrors. Long nights, short dinners. Big dreams, small figures. From the blocks to the bright glare. Turned every setback to fight gear. Put the work in when the lights dim. Now the world's tuned in when I slide in. It's that life through a fighter's eyes. Stitched gloves, still cutting ties. Every scar got a story to relay. Hit play, cause I got a lot to say. Create a spider in your face now. Tune in, you can follow every round. From the grind to the big fight day. Hit subscribe, cause I got a lot to say. Every jab, every move, every game plan. Heart of a champ, you can see it on the cam. Walk with me on the hard roadway. Craig Richard, and I got a lot to say. You see belts, I see rent due.
I just realised I've got a lot to say. I believe I'm the best light heavyweight in the UK. I've been having a lot of discussions, a lot of talks, and you know what? My progression in the last year, being back at the Matchroom Gym, back with Tony Sims, this last year, the progress has been mad. And I believe that now I'm the best light heavyweight in the UK. I was talking to a few people back and forth, and you know what? My guy KG had a lot to say. I had a lot to say, and right now I'm going to enter him in the chat because we got talking to do.
What are you saying? You're telling me, wait a minute. You're saying, am I hearing you correct? You are the best light heavy in the UK, in Britain.
110%. 110%.
So you know that I'm not just going to be here. We're friends. I have to ask questions. I have to ask questions. Yeah? I'm going to, because I believe, wait, who's the top three? First of all, like, you're number one. Who's the top three in the UK?
Top three in my head, I'll say me, Callum Smith, and Buati. I believe right now we're the top three. I feel we're the most proven three in the sense if you look at everyone's resume, number one. Before we go on current talents, let's start before then. Look at their resume, and I just feel like you can't really enter the chat unless you've at least beat 5 domestic top guys to even enter that chat. 3 minimum, 5 at least.
So right now, I've seen what you've done there. I've seen what you've done there because you've almost, because I was going to enter Yard into the chat and you said, wait, man has to be 5. Your criteria, you have to be how many domestic guys? 3 or 5? At
least 5. 3 to enter the chat, 5 to...
Who's your, I know your record, but what qualifies you to say you're allowed to be in the first part of the chat? What qualifies? So
if I put myself to soft launch myself, first of all, I could just say on a briefing, I'll beat so many domestic guys, unbeaten guys 10-0, 12-0, 14-0, etc. That's the soft launch. But if you want to get deeper and dig a little bit deeper, let's actually talk about the guys that I've beat, who you would say is qualified, because there's no point me mentioning guys you've never seen before, but I've hyped them up to say this guy was good. You just didn't know who he was. Yeah. So you've seen guys that you've now watched in the past. Let's say
Shakan.
Let's go back with Shakan Pitters.
Yes.
For the British, 14-0.
Yes.
Dan Aziz, former European, British, Commonwealth, English Southern Area champion.
Yes.
Jake Bull, WBA Continental champion, 12-1. Higgins, 12-0, 6 knockouts. Andre Sterling, 10-0.
Yeah. We're not putting Chad in there. I'm sorry. We're not putting Chad. We're not going to.
We could put Patrick McCormack in there. 20, former IBO world champion. You know, good pedigree. We're already gone over 5. We're at 6 already. So let's slow me down.
There you go. So we can say why, boom, you can be there. Now, what I'm going to do, because it's only right, people will see me here and say, KG, I know you know Craig, but we have to talk about it. Hutchinson, there was an L there. Yeah?
Yes.
That fight didn't go your way. Are you now saying that you've been, because you're saying you're the number one. So we have to talk about Hutchinson, and then we can talk about Buati and make our way to Canada. That's the way we need to go. That's the order.
100%.
Why?
100%.
Why do you believe you're better than Hutchinson now?
I believe that there's a reason when the first time when we fought in the bookies, everyone thought I was going to smoke Hutchinson. Everyone thought I was going to smoke Hutchinson because that's the version of the Craig Richards everyone knows from Matchroom Boxing would have been the guy who fights Hutchinson. We know the job would have got done. We know there's a change of trainer. The training wasn't there. The conditioning wasn't there. And Craig Richards was not performing how Craig Richards was performing. We had people even talking like, is Craig Richards done? The way the performance was not matching up to his regular performances. So we know.
How many times did you watch that back? How many times did you watch that back?
Never. I don't need to.
You never watched it?
Never.
So how do you know that? How do you know that it was just to change a trainer, or it weren't? He was too skilled, or he was too awkward.
Because that was happening to me in sparring for the whole camp. It was happening throughout that period at that gym, and I was complaining at the time, saying, "I'm not performing myself in sparring. I'm sparring even old sparring partners I sparred at the Matchroom gym, and it's now becoming competitive." And I'm saying this style's not working for me. I'm not fit and conditioned as how I usually am. You know, usually we get to the later rounds, I'll start going through the gears, I'll start getting guys out of there. And even we see in the Hutchinson fight, which I ain't watched back, but what I remember of it is there was late in the fight, he was hurt and getting tired, and then gears that I usually have would have pressed on to get him out of there. I did nothing at the time. Once I had him in positions that I could have probably, when he started getting tired on the stretch, so did I. But we all know my condition is a key factor in every bout.
Absolutely.
So that was missing.
I hear that. And do you feel now that since you've gone back to the gym, you're where you need to be? Do you think that fight, how does that fight go? How does that fight go then? Like,
I believe that I stop him. I believe I stop him. I believe I stop him. I'm like 98% sure. Like, I would stop him. That's what I believe.
Yes. But then wait a minute, though. Can you talk? Are you allowed to talk, or are you not talking? How much talking can you do right now?
I'm gonna talk. I'm talking.
I want to know, like, obviously Hutchinson, he's been moving around. Yeah, he's been looking for a home and stuff. Where's he at? Is he where you used to be, or like?
I heard he was. I heard he was. Times I was leaving, he was kind of going there. Yeah, and he then left. He realized it wasn't for him, and he went back. I heard to his old trainer now.
Okay, because that's what I want to get into that. I want to get into that just a little bit. I want to get into that just a little bit because obviously, have you ever been like the main light heavy at the gym? Like they know it's you. Where you're the one that we focus on. Is that been a time, or have you always been like number 2, number 3? I don't know.
In the sense, in terms of which gym, the old gym or the one I'm at now?
In any of the gyms that you've been at, in any of the gyms you've been
at.
Yeah,
like the gym I'm at now, I've always been a light heavyweight there. There's never been 2 of us. There's never been sharing the spoils. I'm the light heavyweight who boxes for Matchroom Gym. That's it.
So, and then when
there was a few. There was Carol Tamakam. Obviously, Willie Hutchinson ended up being there. I saw Whitaker, there's other guys who were trialing out around there. So at times we'd have probably been sharing that pie together from one trainer. But I've never had that at Matchroom. It's always been, you're the light heavyweight at Matchroom Boxing.
Did you feel that, so going with the Hutchinson one, did you feel that you had all the focus? Or like, do you feel like the development to get you ready for that fight was there? Do you feel like, what was the
missing? It wasn't there. Like, see, what the difference is, I'm used to training camps, not a guy who pads me and does my sparring. I'm more used to the camps. So the thing is, what was so giving me so much confidence in my last fight is like, for example, let's talk about my last fight. Every day, 6, 7 a.m. in the morning, I'm linking Tony. I'm meeting Tony. We're on the triangle. We're doing trap. He's on the timer in the cold, in the rain with me. Doing my run, timing, making sure I'm on job. I link him a couple hours later. We're in the gym. We're working. He's watching over me, shadow box on the bag. He's taking me on the pads. We're going through things. He's sending me things in the evening. When we went Ghana, we went early to climatize. When I'm running down the road in Ghana through the markets, Tony's by my side running with me. We're in this like together. We're riding it. You know when you feel like you got the man with you, you got your guy with you. This is my guy. Like we're riding bird together. Like we're in the nights. We're in the car park, training the nights to climatize to the altitude, the heat, the humid heat. So we didn't want to go to the gym because we're saying the gym's gonna have AC. When I box in a stadium, it's got no AC. So this don't make sense. But we're both strategizing the best way for me to win.
So what you're saying, what I'm hearing you say right now is what you're used to in the old Matchroom gym is you make sure like the preparation for fighting was you will be key, you'll be top level to get the work done. Because we're seeing the power come, we're seeing the knockouts come. We saw you in Ireland as well. We're seeing you be who I've known you to be. So this one here could be a blip. If they called you up and said Hutchinson wants it again, are you having it?
Yeah, I'm having it, 110. And I believe the result's completely different.
Let's move on. Because now that was the little blemish where I was going to ask a question. There's another one. I went to the fight. You versus Buati. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a very good fight. It was a very good fight. I don't know if you know we've spoken. And I know it was up there when you talk about could have been fight of the year. It's one of the best domestic fights I've been at.
You know, people still stop me in the streets about that fight. And it's funny because it's a fight that was so good, everyone has a lot of opinion on it. You know, like when a fight's not good, no one, oh, good fight, mate. I saw the other day, good fight, and they move on. But plus people was invested and so interested, the build-up, the ring walks, the fight itself, up to the hype. People want to talk and put their opinion in. And I always get mixed opinions. Like sometimes people are like, mate, so close, I thought you did enough. Some people are like, it was close, I would have had it down the line. Some people are like, I thought like, you know, you done enough. I'm
not gonna lie. I don't think you did. I think you started too late. I didn't think you did enough. I think you started too late. There was a moment, when you had Buati, and I was like, and this is the card. What's cold about this year is what people need to understand is, me and Craig's relationship goes back. Back. When I met this guy, he told me I want to be a boxer, and I look up to Lennox Lewis. That's the first thing. When everyone's kicking ball and stuff, this man's talking about boxing. And I ain't gonna lie, I thought it was weird though. I was like, bro, like, what? Like, we all in the kick ball. Like, what's man talking? Man's talking about boxing, but then I've now seen you. So now this is how long the relationship goes. So you're fighting Buati, who's very close. My little brother is more my little brother. Joshua's guy. Do you know what I'm saying? He's close to my little brother. They're more closer. I already made myself clear that, well, I'm rocking with Craig. Do you know what I'm saying? So now the fight's going, and you've laid a punch that I know Buati's felt, and Buati don't get hurt that much.
No.
And then you
didn't.
He's
a tough guy. Solid competitor.
But you didn't follow up.
No. To be fair, I did. But you know what it is? When I usually got someone hurt, they're not recovering. I underestimated how tough he is. His power, his heart. So when I just walked off to finish the job and I start laying a few right hands on him and he's still there, I'm like, huh? Maybe just one more. Then he starts firing back. So now we're scrapping. So he showed me his heart. He digs deep. I said, you know what? That's why to this day I always respect him. I always gonna have that respect because he showed heart, a warrior. Win, lose or draw, when a man you're in the ring with shares like that and shows you heart, skill, grit, determination, you got to say, you know what? I take my hat off to you. You're a soldier.
So when you say that, then, and I'm aware of that, and I think he edged it. I think he just edged it. I feel you started a bit too late. I think that's been my issue. My only issue with you is even in the Bivol one, I was like, bro, you're in this fight, you know? And I felt like you started believing Bivol later.
Then I started the Buati one.
Yes, definitely. But then even in the Bivol one, I felt that was a moment where you kind of realized, bro, I'm in this fight, like proper, like I'm actually.
Hold on. I could beat this guy. I'm better than this guy. I didn't think I could beat him, but it was like I thought I could beat him. But then you're like, what is this hype about? He's pound for pound number 4 or 5. So you're assessing for longer than maybe you usually would assess what this guy's bringing to the table. Then when I've downloaded everything he's bringing to the table, I said, this ain't nothing I can't deal with. And I started pressing. And when I started pressing, it was just still on the scorecard. You see 1 round and half round too late.
There you go. And this is with Buati, I would say it's like literally, I don't even think it's not even a big margin. But that's why now I'm kind of intrigued here, because you say that if you are like number 1, well, how are you now saying you could beat Buati now because you don't think Buati's the same? Is Buati the same Buati that you met? is the question I'm asking.
Yeah, I think that he is. I think he is. I think like he's some of the performances he's had recently, people have been highly critical about him because the styles didn't merge well. The Zakwan formed himself on the floor, etc. He didn't get to perform the way he performed. But I think he is as good as he was. But I just think I'm tenfold better than I was. So like the Hutchinson, the guy I was around the Hutchinson times, Buati would have beat that guy.
Yeah.
But the guy I am today, I believe that I beat all of them.
Because Buati had a war. Buati had a war with obviously Callum. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably that now is probably one of the best fights I've seen. Mate, yeah. But it was bad. It was because I thought Callum was, and this is why I would say I think you could be better than Hutchison. I think you could be better than Buati. I'm not rolling with you on the Callum. I'm not rolling. I saw what Callum did to Buati. Short range, long range, mid range. Yeah. He was better at everything.
Let me ask you a question. What did he do? Did he have Buati in any more problems than I had him? Did he?
I felt like Buati weren't giving up, but he was hurt. Buati was heartbroken. Like I could see Buati was fighting for Ghana, like for pride. It was more, I just felt pride. Like I saw a different. I felt
like in round 8, I felt like when you look him in the eyes, he's like, bro, you'd have to kill me in here.
Yeah.
Like he ain't the guy who's just gonna go, all right, I've had enough and go on the knee.
No, he's never that guy. That's why he's exciting. That's why I rate Buati, you know. Like if it's when I told people many times, if Yard and Buati fight, I know I'm saying Buati's winning this one. Do you know what I'm saying? But we're again
let me ask you that question to tee you up for the second question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you believe at any time Buati hurt Callum in there?
No.
You don't?
Not really. I felt, and I need to maybe watch it. Maybe I need to watch it. I think I need to watch this one again. But I remember I'm watching this fight, as a Buati guy. I'm in this fight watching as a fan of Buati. So there's that protection thing that you're doing of, we're not like, to how I'm assessing it, I'm like, we're not winning. I remember nothing that was planned that I know Buati's good at was working, but I know he's just a warrior. So Buati almost take punches as if, how dare you punch me in the face? Like he's almost like, you shouldn't be punching me back, even though it's a fight, which I rate about it now. When I thought Callum was it was a man that said, I'm not done. You lot think I'm finished. And I've got to put into practice. That's what I think he met the best version of Callum. I don't even know if he'll be able to recreate that Callum, but I know he's there now. So when I look at what you bring, I'm like, well, you're stronger than you get credit for.
Yeah. Of course.
You can bang.
I literally had with someone today and they literally said to me, I didn't know you was this strong. I didn't know your punch power was like this. Didn't know you was this strong. I said, why does everyone always say that? After every single fight, every opponent says, I didn't know you was that strong. And I'm saying this is the problem with the general public. They don't look at your punch power and what you're doing to people in the ring. They're looking at it by your body shape. They think this is a bodybuilding competition. They're like, oh, he's slim built. He must not be a puncher. And it's the same thing they've done to Terence Crawford. He's knocking man out for 7 years and people are still saying, this guy's going to be too strong for him. He stops him. No, but this one's going to be too strong for him. Why? He's knocking everything out. Why do you think anyone's going to be too strong for him? Why? Because he's not big. And
because your record, 13 KOs. You got 13 KOs. Yeah? 13, 20.
And keep in mind, all the ones I weren't knocking out was at super middleweight.
Okay.
My first 10 was at super middleweight.
Okay.
So, and if you look at all the knockouts I had throughout that 10, they was all at the catch weight to light heavyweight. All the ones that were championship round at super middleweight was the ones I didn't do no knockouts. And that's why my ratio is the way it is, because every super middleweight fight, I didn't knock them out. The ones on the limit. It's all the ones that catch weight, I knocked them out. And then since I've been a light heavyweight, watch this stat. Did you know my last 10 wins, 9 have been by KO, and 1 I didn't KO was on the floor twice.
This is what I'm saying, bro. But then no one's, when we talk about your power, I don't think you come into the power conversations, because I say Buati, big puncher. What's crazy, yeah? I've heard it a few times and I've argued this one because I'm like, bro, like, Yard feels like he's a big puncher, but I haven't seen him just, because it's hard to judge Yard because it's either been a really tough fight or I don't understand who that guy is.
You're saying you can't gauge.
I can't gauge Yard.
Someone you know.
I can't gauge him. Yeah. I know he's hurt Beterbiev, but that's not enough because he didn't win. Do you know what I'm saying? I know Beterbiev, like, or that's all I can do.
Kovalev, not Beterbiev. Kovalev, you mean?
No, Beterbiev. Did he land on Beterbiev? Like, he landed something heavy G on Beterbiev.
You said hurt him, though. Didn't land. I don't mean land, I mean hurt him.
You don't think he hurt him a bit?
I don't have an opinion on it, but I'm saying, I thought you said hurt, like Kovalev is hurt him. I don't remember the Beterbiev fight, though.
No, but you said to me, do you think Buati hurt Callum? Do you believe Buati hurt Callum?
Yeah, but like, you see when he caught, so for instance, when I watched the fight of Callum and Buati, Callum was offloading on Buati, right? To try and finish the job. And Buati dipped and threw an overhand right, and Callum fell back into the ropes, and Buati tried to finish him. Survival mode. So when I say hurt someone, is there any time you saw Thingy fall and he looked like Thingy's now trying to finish the job but didn't get it done? I'm
now thinking about a significant punch that it gets their attention. Yeah, I think
going because he's hurt. So like with Yard fighting Kovalev, you saw the significant moment in round 8 that he caught him and hurt him. So that's why I said we're talking about Kovalev, not Beterbiev.
Okay. Fair enough. Now I understand how you're breaking down. You remember you're the fighter, though. You're the fighter, so you're breaking down.
Loads of times we've landed big shots on people, but that don't necessarily mean they're hurt. Like, we know when they're hurt. You see when they're hurt. Like, Callum was hurt for that second with Buati. Kovalev was hurt with that moment with Yard.
But is there moments, though? Can I ask you this then? When you're in there with Buati, there was obviously there was that one big moment, but there's times when he clearly has felt what you've done to him. Like, there's clearly, like, you're seeing them signs, but he smiles and he throws something heavy back as well. What is that giving you like I know that hurt? I know, like, what's going on?
I would think I know I've hurt you, but general people won't be like, right, Craig hurt Buati in round 3, 5, and 7, and 8. They're gonna. If there's no massive noticeable signs, you're just going to say you hurt him in round 8 because it was noticeable. Do you get what I'm saying? Because he's dipped down, he's held on, then we've gone into the scrap. So it's a noticeable moment when you've hurt someone. So you can't just claim credit every time you land a good shot and you think, I know you're hurt. You can't. I can't claim any credit to hurting him any time.
So you tell me, but what, before we get out of here, because you said we're going to do 25. You said you're going to be back all the time. This is the deal that we've made. I want to let the people know, because I will be coming back here. But he said 10 episodes. He's going to drop 10 episodes talking on what he needs to talk about. If he drops 10 episodes, I'm coming to do a training course like his. I'll come to yours. It'll be like we'll record it like 2 days. It'll be a 2-day camp. Yeah.
We got this 2 days. And you know what? Big up KG, because you know what? He already knows it. We're big up Undefeated as well. People tuning in, getting tuned in already. But what I'm saying is why I always will show KG love, because KG is clean hearted and he's good. And when I spoke to him about certain things, and I said I got a lot to say, and he said about doing this and being outspoken on the channel, he put me a bet down and said, I've got to get busy. And he put me under pressure.
Episode
1, he pushed it, he jumped on it, and he's put me back under pressure, so there ain't no cowardly way of saying what I've got to say.
Comment section.
But I don't like saying a lot.
And you must say it, bro, because do you know what's annoying is, you are a good guy. I will say that. But in the ring, you're a menace. In terms of like in the ring, I know that even this is the kind of guy that I know you are, The Danasees fight, The menace throws the big hand. Bow! Dan goes down and then he shows concern. As soon as he realized he's okay, as soon as he realized he's okay, he's like, okay. How can you punch no.
Yeah, because I just wanted to make sure I got the win. I see it waved off.
Yeah.
Got the KO. Great. Now, most importantly, how is his health moving forward? I ain't trying to. I want him to be healthy.
Even as you send the punch, you send the punch, and as he was getting down, I've seen you look to be like, okay. And I said, bro, what, you threw the punch though? This is how mad. This is how I know that as a friend, the war man turns up. And I think the war man, because you don't talk about yourself the right way. And the last question I want to ask you is, because I'm still not having it, I don't think you beat Callum. Yeah?
Okay.
How are you beating Callum? You tell me.
Okay, you know what? The first one I got to say on that subject.
Yeah.
I get you. I haven't proven anything to show up to the date that I'll beat Callum in terms of our CVs right now. So I want no disrespect to disrespect Callum's accomplishment, what he's done. So that right there, I get your argument with that.
Yes.
I can't really argue on that case of based off facts and information right now. But obviously, I know what I'm on now. I know my ability, and I know what I'm on 2026.
What can you do better than Callum, though? What do you feel you can do better than Callum? What is where you might be a step? Because you looked at things.
Let's roll reverse.
Yeah.
What does he do better than me?
Don't ask me that, because I'll tell the truth.
What does he do better than me?
I think his pacing of a fight.
You see me all 2025.
I think his pacing of a fight is good. I think he knows when, from a judging thing, he's experienced. So in the ring, he's experienced. So in the ring, he's gonna know, like, okay, how many shots I'm picking and when to throw them shots that the judges say it's a 10-9 round. I think he's wily, he's experienced. I think he has experience over you. I don't want to say he's got power.
I feel like I wasn't ready for these sort of levels coming through before, because the ones what lost me at the highest level was the experience of knowing when to steal the rounds, like when to steal what fight, when to steal in the Bivol fight. Obviously, I've had ups and downs since then, and now I feel like that's why I say coming around in full circle, boom.
I'm gonna say power-wise. I think power-wise, you could be. I think you could be this. I'm gonna say that your power-wise, because who's he dropped? Who's Callum dropped again? Did he drop Bateviev?
No,
not Bateviev. Who did he drop? Callum. Let me go. Who did he drop?
He boxed a guy that boxed Bivol before, and he boxed the former European. He knocked out the former European champion. George Groves at super middleweight.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is anyone else that he's dropped?
Has anyone knocked out Dan Aziz before?
No.
Has he been in with big punches? Because Buati's one of the biggest punches.
Wait. How did Buati one end with Dan Aziz?
When?
That went to. Did I go the full? Did I go the full distance?
Yeah,
it did. But Dan went down though. Dan went down twice.
Yeah, they say arguably one was slip, one was a knockdown, but I'm not here to referee all of that. He went down, and they saw it out.
You kept him. I'm gonna say yeah.
But shout out Buati, my guy. I like Buati. No discredit.
You're not saying anything disrespectful.
I knocked out Aziz. No one's knocked out Aziz. Sterling. I mean, Shakan. No one's knocked out Shakan.
Yeah.
Even the guy I boxed for the
Callum's got power, you know.
Yeah.
Callum's got power. Right. So I feel like your power might be on the same. I'm gonna say what it is right now. What I'll say experience, and I thought his but you're a smart fighter though. That's where your I think you're a better boxer than
my IQ is high.
I think your IQ is way higher than Buati's in terms of how you do go about your business. You're a thinking fighter.
Yeah.
Okay.
He shows more aggression at times.
He's aggressive.
Yeah.
He's aggression. Yeah, his is aggressive. He's like, it's not going like that. I know you thought this fight was going this way. This is how I want to fight as well.
I think that's where I was lacking back then, where I'm showing more aggression now. You look at all my fights last year.
Yeah.
When it was time to turn it up, I was getting them out.
Yeah, you know what?
People was like, I want to see a bit more spite in the years before. Now you're seeing me go in there and getting out guys at high level. Not getting guys out Southern area level, getting guys out at world level.
Your jab is good as well. Your jab long at range. Your jab is good. Yeah, actually. Okay.
And we showed him the inside. Aziz being a shorter guy, showed him the inside work was better than his shorter guy in my last fight.
Okay. You know what? Yeah. It might be a bit closer than I imagined. It might be. Now, when I think about it, because I'm almost saying, I'm looking at the Buati fight and imagining you in there, but it doesn't play out like that because you wouldn't. I don't think you engage in that exact same way as Buati did, where it becomes a war. I think you're going to box. As in, you two are now going to say, all right, I see what you're trying to do. Download the data. But I worry in that fight is how quick you get going is my thing.
Okay. But I feel like if you watch Patrick McCormack fight in the earlier year, I won from round 1.
Okay. They need to say, listen.
So I showed the capabilities. 2 fights last year. The second one, I purposely started slower because I knew that Aziz was going to start fast and burn himself out, and I knew I was going to get him down the stretch. The first one, I know that guy builds off of momentum, so I cancelled that from round 1, took it away from him, and then knocked him out later.
Listen, we want to. All I'm saying is now, I'm going to be back. I know I'm going to be back. This is your time, bro. You lot hit like, hit subscribe. I hope I've done my job. You lot know one thing that I'm going to do. Undefeated Energy is we're going to tell the truth, bro. Like, no matter what, friend, no friend, whatever it is, tell the truth. You know what I'm saying? And big up, bro. Big up you, because I don't think many in boxing. Now, I'm going to say this. There's not many in boxing that, like, most people will delete my number after this kind of conversation. But you still talk to me, bro. So,
I'm not open to people having an opinion. The one thing I don't like, what people do is don't lie to me and like do mad stuff. Like, if you're riding with him, just tell me you're riding with him. Don't say I want you both to win. There's no such thing. There's only one position, and you can't say I want you both to win. Only one of us are getting over the line, so you know you can't want 50,
No, but I think See, you're looking at it as a boxer. Check it out now. You see the Dan Aziz one? That was even more tighter because I was like, Dan shows up all the time. Dan don't mess around. But then I knew the killer is in this one, I knew what was going to happen. I knew what was going to happen.
You know what? Without saying, I know you knew. And you know why? I'm going to put you on ice. You know why I'm putting you on blast? Because you openly confessed. You said, I'm not in the mix. Them two, I don't know. Your next sentence was, Whitaker will beat Aziz, but he won't beat Richard. So you let me know the levels where you thought that was going. So really, you knew where you was at.
No, because
that's cool. You get it for the right one. Do
you know what it is? With all my brethren, all my friends that fight, I can see what I like and what I don't like. With Dan, I hate that he can turn every fight into a war. I think he's better than the wars that he has to have. So not against you. I understand it. It's going to be a war. I've seen him against others, and I'm like, bro. So when I knew you was fighting you, you're not going into one of those. He's not dragging you into a war. There's no chance. There's no unless you're just moving mad. I don't know what's wrong that day. Are you with me? That's when I knew before the fight was going on. I said, it's only if Craig is. I don't know what Craig's on. That fight goes a different way. But you caught me.
I'm gonna get into the ins and outs of that fight anyway. Episode 2, I'm gonna get into the ins and outs because I think we've got a lot to say, and I don't want to go too mad on this episode 1. So episode 2, we're gonna get into that. I'm gonna get into that a bit more.
Well done, man. Hey, listen, people, thank you for watching. Hit like, hit subscribe. My boy's here. Episode 1. We're out of here.
Jeez, we landed. Come on.